without further ado, we are going to start off with the one negative award that we have every year. With new improved graphics, the all hype No Finish Award.
Ooh. I love this. I also love that last year's winners are right there.
Love it.
Yeah, so for those watching on the screen, you're getting a bit more of a visual upgrade this year around. So the all hype No Finish Award, for those who have never heard of our awards before, essentially it's the award that, is because all the games that we're going to be talking about generally are ones we finished. So it's going to be one that, like, either as we started or as we were playing it, we were really high on it, and then by the time that we finished the game, it fell way short of what we were hoping for it to end at. It could be a case of where, the ending just sucked. Like, maybe as of writing, the ending was just terrible. Maybe it was a game that, you would have rated a 10 out of 10 at the halfway point, and then just a bunch of stuff kept coming on top of each other and really bad gameplay decisions or whatever else, and it just drops to a 7. Like, whatever that looks like. The world is our oyster with this award. But for those who don't have the visual representation, our last year winners of this award, well, I guess it's not really a winner if it's the one negative award we got, but Kaylan put in Rise of the Ronin, and then both Chris and I agreed that Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I should say, was a game that was great up until the last literal hour of it. You want to talk about all hype, no finish? Well, that game had no finish. So, with that in mind, Kaylan, what is your, well, not winner, but I guess, the award winner for this one this year?
So this one was a tough one for me. There was two that particularly stood out, and was kind of indicative, like not a good sign for the publisher / developer. I went back and forth, and for me, the runner-up was Mario Kart World. I was very excited for Mario Kart World, coming off of Mario Kart 8. It was a fantastic game, probably the best iteration of Mario Kart ever. But in the end, I kind of alluded to at the beginning of the episode, is going to go to Donkey Kong Bonanza. I was very excited for this game, having the Switch 2. I was excited for, especially coming off of Mario Kart World, I was excited for the first, non-release window game. I know it's still kind of a release window game, but you know what I mean? And it was getting such good hype from, the reviewers and everything. And then I played it, and it started out good, but it didn't have the substance to last for a long period of time. And so I've already talked about it a bunch, but yeah, for me it's Donkey Kong Bonanza.
All right,
yeah,
Chris,
that's a good pick.
You up next.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this award made me sad that I wasn't a Monster Hunter gamer, because I would have probably put Monster Hunter Wilds from everything I saw about that game in here. But I didn't play that, so I can't confirm nor deny that. But for me, it's actually going to be kind of a random one. But for me, I really was looking forward to everybody's Golf Hot Shots.
Oh, yeah.
I love the original Hot Shots series. I had been dying for it to come back. Nothing's really hit since. And then when I saw the way this one looked, and it seemed to be going back to the original Hot Shots games from like the PS1 and PS2 era and all that kind of stuff, I was so excited. And then I started playing the game, and I'm not going to lie, I am not very excited. It's not great. Like, the performance was bad, which makes no sense. It's a golf game. Like, there's not a lot happening on the screen. The performance should at least be locked something like 60 frames per second. The graphics don't look great. Like, at first you'd look at it and be like, oh, okay, it's a Hot Shots game. But you look at the Hot Shots Golf on the PS3, and it looks better than this one. It's weird. Like, you can put them side by side, and just the visual style of the game on the PS3 does look a bit better.
So like a bad artistic choice?
Bad artistic choice. I'm sure they were trying to bake in, like, maybe not ray tracing, but specific lighting and stuff, where obviously in the PS3, it was back when you had to do very specific, different type of lighting, which wasn't as much of a hit in performance. Yeah, so there's that. And then the biggest thing for me is in this game, I've played like 8 hours or something like that, and I'm pretty sure I've unlocked one character. So I only have 3 golfers in total. You have to play the story mode, and the story mode is boring as shit.
It sucks.
It sucks. It's just text. It's just like 2 characters on the screen and like walls of text of going back and forth, and then you golf only against that one person. Maybe you'd golf against 2 people if it's the story mode, that one. But I think that only happened to me once, and I played a long time. I don't mind the actual golfing part of the story mode. It's fine, but it's a story mode. There should be something that's giving me like besides like a text window of what one character's saying with no voice acting and another character, like it's just a portrait of a character with some text. Like, what is this? It's not. I'm pretty sure the story mode in the PS3 one was also again better than this one. So it just feels like, I don't know. Namkai Bandai, I think, was the one that did it. I don't know if they could do it. I don't know if they were stretched for time. I don't know if it's just a new type of game for them. I have no idea. But yeah, it's just not. It did not live up to my hype, unfortunately.
All right, I'll rip off the Band-Aid real quick. The game of the year was my all hype no finish.
Wow.
I mean, I said it pretty early on when I did play the game. I enjoyed it, but I did not like how the final act was given. This is not me saying it's a bad game. I still rated this game an 8 out of 10 when it was all said and done. But it was a 10 before the end of Act 2. And then Act 3 completely just destroyed it for me because it was very... I've said it before.
I'm with you on this, by the way.
I've said many times on the show, I generally don't vibe very well when games are trying to go out of their way to make me feel like I should make the choice that I don't want to make. Life is Strange is a great example of that. Expedition 33's entire third act is telling you to go in a certain direction, and I'm refusing to because that just doesn't make any sense from a story sense for me.
Can we spoiler talk this for a minute? Because like I want to talk about this too. Because if you haven't played Expedition 33, skip ahead like.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you don't want to hear spoilers for the last little bit, just skip ahead until you see the graphic change, and then you'll know you're safe.
Yeah. So let's talk about it, because like I have problems with this as well. Do you want to go first?
Because like, at the end of the day, look, like I get that the whole point of this game is that Mael needs to get over all of her feelings, right? The family in general needs to get over all their feelings of loss. And I get that theme. But when your entire idea of it is to leave the world that also has a bunch of characters, Lune, that you really don't want to lose, it's a choice that's like, I'm sure it's meant to be directed at the player, be like, hey, they need to get over this and you need to also accept that too, to which I go, fuck, I don't. I have no stakes in this.
Well, like for me, the argument was like I went with the idea that I wanted to stay in the painting, keep the painting real, because my thought was that like, look, my brother's dead, like my family is fighting, the world is in like chaos, like there's something going on that like my family's being targeted, maybe being killed, like it's not good out there, and I have this option where I can live a life inside this escaped world, and like it raises the question of like what is real, right? If I'm in here and I'm
there
living
is also
and I'm
that part
feeling,
of my brain that's like, are they trying to make you pick the ending that's not actually what you want?
well, like my thought was like, you know what, her life kind of sucks out there, there's nothing for her, she's like this burnt mute who like can't do anything that she wants, and like at what point is it better that like, hey, she is happy in this world and can, and like yeah, she might be escaping her problems, but like what's waiting for her on outside of this painting, and is it really worth it? Like at some point it's like, maybe just let her live in this life, right? Like that was where I'm with it. And then, you know, there's also an argument like, are the other characters real and alive? They have feelings, they have, you know, they perceive things, so how do we determine whether they're real or not? And should you destroy them just because they're not real? Like it raised a whole bunch of questions, and I'm like, no, I think it makes sense to keep this world alive. But then they're like, oh, by the way, you're a monster now because everyone's a prisoner. It's like,
I'll also say too, it doesn't help that the entire intrigue that I had with the game was the idea of like, what is the paintress? What is the end goal of this? And then by the time you know what the paintress actually is, you go, oh, that's not that interesting, actually.
yeah, it's all a dream. Yeah,
it kind of in a way is what they kind of pulled.
So for me, like, the thing is that like the only thing that was interesting for me in this game, like I didn't put this on there because like I still liked the game. I think it was overhyped for what it was. Like I think gameplay wise, the gameplay is not interesting in this game. Like I don't find it very exciting. I find it very like I was just going through it because I just wanted to see what was next. And half these characters were half baked and like didn't need to be there. But yeah.
I love that the reason I love this game is the reason you guys are debating right now. Like, it makes you literally have conversation of, like, what does it mean to be real? and
I think
stuff
the
like
problem
that.
though is that like, and I thought like I was really interested with that perspective too, until it became clear that the developer had a good answer and a bad answer. So like it was like this very nuanced
That's the other thing.
conversation,
It's-
but then it
it's
just
the second
becomes
that you're kind of forcing our hand on something, and it's like, nah.
well, I think it was more nuanced, but it just becomes, hey, here's this vague choice, and then you get Mass Effect where it's like, are you evil or good? And it's like, well, it's kind of complicated, right? So
Yeah, life is gray. Mass
Yeah.
Effect, Jesus.
Like, look, again, ripping off a Band-Aid for spoiling a really old game at this point, but Life is Strange, the whole ending is, hey, this has all happened because you keep trying to save your dead friend's life. So you either need to let her die or everyone else dies. And I go, but the entire game was making me work towards her not dying. Why are you telling me to stop this now?
yeah,
yeah.
Whereas Expedition 33 to me was like, hey, you're supposed to be trying to save your friends, Lune, CL, maybe even Gustav. You have no fucking clue.
wait, can you save him at all, or no? You can't.
Well, I mean, if you do the bad ending,
Oh,
he
yeah.
appears again. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
True.
But like the whole thing is like, hey, you might be do you want to save all of these people, or do you want to save essentially, possibly yourself in this world that you have no idea about?
which also sucks.
That's the thing. You don't necessarily know for certain that it all sucks because again, you're also hearing it from stories from other points of view.
Well,
right? Like
your house did burn down and your face caught on fire, and there is something about a
yes, but
civil
what I
war
mean is
going
like
on.
we don't really know what the entirety of the world outside of that is. So it's like hard to say really what you're walking out into.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, do you want to go into the unknown or what you do know at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, I digress. It's still a good game. It's just, for me personally, I thought that the ending ruined it for me, kind of.
Yeah.
Whereas Chris is like, I love that game. Shut up.
I love the choice at the end, and that's
I
why I
hated
still
it.
love it.
I hated
know.
it. Like,
I know.
And I hated it because it was like the only choice. It's like, hey, here's a linear story until you get to the end. It's like, why? Just stick with stick a lane.
If I'm being honest, if they really wanted the right choice to be to go back to like leave the painting entirely, you shouldn't have given me the choice.
Or give me a reason to go back other than just it's the right thing to do. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if people know this. Saying something's the right thing to do for you, the player, doesn't always work that way. Because when there's no consequence for us,
yeah.
No, yeah, it is a game. But that's also not real. We're talking about characters. They're not real. They're just in a game.
Well, it's
Or are they
it's
real?
real to me.
So
damn it.
the argument I have is that like think about someone with dementia, right? Like if someone has dementia and they're like talking to you about like a loved one that's died, do you correct them and say, "Oh no, they died like 10 years ago," or do you let them live in this like fantasy world, right? And that's kind of where I was with like the characters here, where it's like, "Hey, you know what? Your life sucks out there, and you have an opportunity to have a happy one in here. What who cares, right? Like."
No, it's kind of like that movie, The Surrogates, where you live inside like a nicer, better body while your real body is like laying in a chair hooked up to like a VR kind of thing.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that movie?
No.
And it's like, oh, it's a Bruce Willis movie from back in the day. But it's like,
Sounds like a
do
Bruce
you
Willis
just like lay in this chair and like wither away, but your mind is in this robot, which is like the perfect version of you? Or does it make more sense to not be in that and your real body and you actually age properly and like live life normally, even if you're weaker and worse?
All I'm saying is like perception is reality, right? And like, I don't know.